Hey everybody, it's Steve Linden. I am live again, and today we're going to go over another website. I'm going to show you how that website looks before and after. This is a before and after series, and I'm going to talk about how I transferred, or what's the term I want to use? Adjusted this website from an old 10-year-old website to a mobile-ready website while maintaining the view and the experience that was what they wanted from the start. They want to maintain the look and feel, but they want to make it mobile responsive for tablets and PCs and, you know, laptops and iPads and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it in a minute here, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and make our transition, and we'll go check it out. Okay, we're in. We're going to go ahead and look at a site right now that happens to be this version right here of Villa Roma sausage. Great sausage, by the way. Is over 10 years old. And what I want today is I want to educate the public on old websites and how they can affect what you're trying to do when you're trying to sell your product, your brand, your service with an old site, and how that can affect your sales. The look and feel, the experience, the user experience for a client. On the other side is looking and considering purchasing your product, your service, your offer, what it may be, your value proposition, whatever thing you're trying to do. So if you look at this particular website right here, you'll notice that it happens to have the flash is missing right here. So it's all missing. The flash, there we go, right there. The flash is missing right here. What the flash is, it's an old standard of being able to pop up a video, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute when it actually has the original video that's been put back in place, but under the new standards. And if you look at the content, its framing is you know, it's not full page. It looks fine, you know, but it's old and just doesn't have that nice crispy look to it. So if you go to the product page, you'll see the format. Now I'm pulling this from what's called the Wayback Machine, which took it back several years. And if you look at the look of the site right now, you'll see that there's your image right there, and then there's your product groups right there. Okay. And if you go to recipes, you'll see what it looks like with the recipe page. Perhaps. It's coming in. Take a second here. There you go. And you can see that it's more of a horizontal, what do you call it, vertical view of these particular recipes. Very small, very, very small, so it's very hard on the eyes for someone to actually see the pictures of the products that can be created by Villa Roma sausage. So that kind of gives it that type of look. We'll move this up a little bit. And if we move into one of these, let's just go into this one here. You'll see where it brings it in. And it's taking a second because it's in what's called the Wayback Machine. And you can see how it's got that, you know, this certain look here. The pictures aren't fully centered, things like that. This is harder to read here, right, on the right side here. And overall, it just has a bad user experience. So where to buy, we'll go to that page real quick. And in the where to buy page, you can see that everything's very small. Okay. And also right here, you can see where it's just kind of a real small view. I mean, if you're selling a product, you want to make it larger so people can actually see what the actual product is going to be like, you know. So that's that. And then we'll go to the next one. There's a reason why I'm showing you all these pages, by the way. And then small writing, very small writing, that kind of thing, and small pictures again. Very hard to read this section right here. And then the contact us we'll go to real quick. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over one or two more things. I'm going to go into the actual new version. So if you can see, the web form is very basic. It's old standard look of a web form. Okay. Same thing. So let's go back to the home page real quick. Okay. Now we're back at the home page, and the same sort of thing right here. Now this is advertising that's been brought in because this site happens to be archived on what's called the Wayback Machine, which anybody can go to. If you go to waybackmachine.org, you can pull up old websites. So you can take a site that you might have built 10, 15, 20 years ago and do a search for the domain name, the URL, and it will pull up that website's older version of that. It's what they do is they archive in the Internet Archive organization is a nonprofit, and they archive websites for people to view 30, 40, 50, 100 years from now. So that's what's cool about it. And it allows for me to be able to, even though this older version is no longer on the net, I can still pull it up and show you what it looks like in its current form. So there's that. So I want to show one more thing. If I go to try to compress this particular website and make it mobile ready, watch what happens. Watch what's going to happen is it rolls in. See how this is rolling inside? It's not formatting to it. See how all the stuff that's over on this side, it should be over here, it's not pushing down. The person has to go left and right like this. That's a really bad user experience, and that's what they were dealing with the previous version. So if anybody went onto a mobile device, or they went onto some small mini, you know, like a iPod or iPad mini, or it's just a smaller device, you'd have that experience. Even if you were in a smaller tablet, it'd be like this way. So the only way you'd really be able to see it full page was a laptop and a desktop. So what do we do? So let's talk about that real quick here. So what we did is we went in, or I went in, should I say, and I went in and rebuilt it. Now they wanted to keep the same look, colors, style. They're a conservative company. They just wanted to keep the same format. So I went in and did that for them. So this is the new version of the site. If you look at it, it's much cleaner. Better call to action while it maintains the standard look and feel that it had before. You can see that the video is in here. Now I kept the video format. They had a thin video in here. Even if I play it real quick, it looks like this. Now if you remember before, it was gone, and if it was able to be viewed, it was really, really, really small. So I went to the maximum that I could go with it. It's an older video that's 10 years old, and they still wanted to use that particular video, but I could still get it and raise the level and make it look nice. And then, put the content in here, rewrote some of the content and made it better. Rebuilt this particular portion of it right here, created the call to actions right here, and then down at the bottom I resized and put in the Via Roma logo with their information, much better and easily read. So let's go ahead and go over to products. So I'll take a look at the products page real quick. If you look at the products page, doesn't that look much nicer now? Larger pictures. Nice experience here, right? And then we'll go into a product in a minute. So let's go ahead and go into a product page. And notice how the site loads much quicker as well. Very, very fast. So you can see how the pictures are very large. They're in here. They've got a call to action right here. If I go into one of the pictures of one of the products, it gives me a full view. So if somebody's in this particular page, they're going to get a full view of this particular product. And then they have all these little call to actions down here, which I maintained and kept for them. If we go back a level, let's go here. Same thing with these here. And then it has the next group, and the next group, and the next group. So that's on the pork sausages. And then if you go back a level over here, when we go into the poultry, the chicken products, the same holds true over here. I made it so it looks clean and it looks uniform within the site. If I click on one of them, it does the same thing. It's just a nice clean look. So when the person comes to the site and they want to check out their products, they have an easy user experience in seeing what's available. Now, where to buy and recipes, I went to here's the recipe section. And look how much nicer the recipes are now. Very large pictures, very easily read. They can be seen and people know, and they look at it. Now, that looks good. That looks great. And if you look at when I scroll over each one of these, notice how it says what it is. Split pea soup, stir fried rice, mushroom and rice. These are what are called alt tags. And I put the alt tags in here on purpose because alt tags were created when the internet first started to assist people who were blind, who could not see the site or had limited vision, to be able to scroll over an item, and when they scrolled over, it would say linguine sauce and pesto, or it would say, you know, mushroom and rice. So people would, because they had software that were able to do that through their speakers, so they would know what section they were on, and they could go ahead and click through the item. So today, what we do is we use alt tags as a way to get a higher ranking in search. It's part of a collective group of things that you need to do in order to get a really, really good high score in your ranking on a website. And one of them is creating the alt tags. And also, when you create the alt tags, you also want to take the images and you want to label the images whatever the image is, not just have it be some, you know, random number or just whatever the, you know, image number 54473. You actually want to call the image what it is. And then when you upload and size the image and drop it into the site, Google's going to, through their algorithms, run through the page. They're going to scrape this whole page in an instance. And if they see an image that says image number 43547, it can't identify what it actually is, right? So it's not going to give you a higher score. But if it does know that it happens to be this particular linguine turkey sausage and pesto, and the image is labeled that, and the alt tag is labeled that, then they're going to know that that's what it is, and they're going to give you a higher rank on your what's called SERPs in your score ranking. Therefore, your site goes to the top while others stay at the bottom of the search. So it's all these little back-end things that are really, really important and you must do in order to have a really, really good site that will rank, and it will be a good user experience for the consumer. So if I go into one of these, check this recipe out. So nice, see how nice and clean that is now? It's full page. It's much bigger. It's got all the ingredients. They're not really small. You know, they're going to format nicely when I compress them into a mobile device or a tablet, PC or whatever. Okay. Now what we'll do is I'll just show you real quick here. We'll do the same thing with this particular site. I'll go ahead and compress it. Now, see how it compresses? And then when I go back down here, it looks really nice, right? It looks very, very nice in here, right? And that's what you want. You want to have that on so that if this site goes to the viewer is on a smartphone or they're on an iPad or a tablet, they're going to get a better user experience. So they might be on a tablet, you know, right there, and then they might be on a 14-inch laptop, and then on a regular full PC, which is what I'm on right now. So these things do matter, you know. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that all your writing is what's called organic written, meaning that you thought of it out of your brain and you wrote the article and you put it in. Okay. Now there's tricks around doing that and still having it be organic. We can discuss that in a session if you want to, strategy session with me. But when you have organic content, Google gives you a higher ranking than if you were to just take this from a recipe off another site and copy and paste it in here. They're not going to give you a higher ranking. They're going to say, oh, that's scraped from over there, because they can cross-check in their algorithms. Okay. Plus, you don't want to do that because it's plagiarism. Now, well, let me talk about plagiarism. You can go and you can grab, let's say, ingredients, a recipe, and you can read it, and then you can just go rewrite it in your own terms, maybe throw a couple more items in it, whatever you want, and make it your own. That's what everybody does out there. That's a true fact. Make their own version of it, right? And then put it in, put an image in. See how I have it right here? This is the hard lifting that a lot of web developers don't take the time, or they're not paid, so they don't want to go through the process of doing it. But like I said, if you do this kind of stuff, it does matter. So, and let's go into let's go to where to buy, that page. The where to buy, see how nice and clean it is. See how this picture is much larger. You can actually see the sausage here. You can see that it was from Anaheim, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. And then these are all the links to the different venues that they have their product being sold. So, and then let's see here. So there's that. And then we're going to go to the About page real quick. We're in the About page now. Now, understandably, this is a grainy picture, but it's a picture that they just wanted to use. They didn't want to go out and reinvent the wheel and go take another picture. So I raised it, the actual level of this image, to the highest level I could with the balance of quality, visual experience, and still be able to not, you know, without having to go take a new picture with a high-end lens. This camera was, or this picture was taken with a low-end lens back in the day, you know, 10 years ago probably. And then, you know, a picture in here, dropped in here with a caption. So, very, very nice, very crisp, very clean now, much easier to be able to view, fill out the form, and it just tells a nice, simple story, and it still delivers, but it's a better user experience for the consumer based on, you know, based on whatever device that they're using. You know, it floats, and then once again, there's a hamburger. Brings that in, and they can select what they want. See how that looks in there? Simple, right? Simple. So I've concluded this one. Now you have an experience of what it is to go from an older site to a newer site. If if you have any interest in having me look at your old site and take a look at it and give you some recommendations, we can do that. And would love to talk to you about any other thing. Please come back, share, post, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can also go visit, if you choose, my main site. That's SteveLinnin.com, and you'll see my reviews on that site as I build up those reviews, and not only on websites but on all kinds of other things too. I do reviews. So would love to talk to you, and have a great day, and thanks for watching my video. Take care.